So, today I want to go into this idea of not being everybody's cup of tea, not having everybody like you. There isn't anybody who understands what you're saying. Um, Maybe your loved ones aren't supporting your ideas or your life choices. And I want to say that that's okay. Like, that's okay. I think nowadays we want people to agree with us. And I think that's, nice to have people agree with us and for them to mirror back what we are saying to them. But I think to kind of expect that from people isn't healthy, because when we're expecting people to support us and then they show up and they're not supporting us, we've kind of got this indiscrepancy in our values or alignment, because if you were in the crowd, like cheering for that person, like supporting them, helping them grow, and when it's your time to start focusing on yourself, they're not supporting you. Like, they're not really listening. They're not here to cheer you on, really. Like, I think so often we want to be cheered for, and that's normal. It's normal to want people to like you, but what if they don't like you? What if they don't like what you have to say? What if you have your feelings and your opinions and nobody supports you? Does that make you wrong? Like, are you wrong then? You don't know what you're talking about? No, 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 not at all. Not at all. And while validation from other people is nice, it can't fill our value system. It can't fill us up that so and so thinks we're doing a great job. If we don't really want to do what we're doing, we're still not going to feel fulfilled. It doesn't matter what it is. But if we're doing behaviors or actions, or like if I go out and run a marathon right now, but I hate running, and maybe my friends are all running and they're marathon runners, and I'm getting a lot of pressure on myself to become a runner and do this extreme sport that I don't have any training in at all. But maybe I start to decide to start running, start doing sprinting, start training myself. I get really into it, really focused, and really deep down inside, I don't want to do this at all. I don't like sprinting. I'm only doing sprinting so I'm not kicked out of the group with the sprinters. They're sprinting, don't you see? So if I don't start sprinting, I'm screwed. I'm out of the loop. And that is not true. That's not a true belief. I think because we are such social creatures, and I feel like opinions sometimes can be tried to boxed in to black and white. And I don't think anything's black and white. I don't think anything's black and white. Of course, I think there's a lot of in-between colors in the mix. And, I personally don't believe there's any such thing that is just good or bad. I think life has its complexities, and to box things in is doing a discredit. To box yourself in is doing a discredit to you and who you are and all the things that you can be when you're not boxing yourself in, and when you're sitting with yourself and you're asking yourself, what do I really want to do? What is the dream I really want to pursue? What gets me out of bed in the morning, and what is exciting me? What kind of connections am I enjoying during the day? Like, what is filling my cup up when I'm showing up and I'm there? Am I showing up? Am I closed off? Am I, feeling socially awkward, and so then I'm assuming people are thinking negative, judgmental thoughts about me, and then I'm pulling away from these people and I'm not allowing them to get to know me, and then they may be giving me weird energy because I am giving them weird energy too. I'm not open to connection. And then that person is feeling that subconsciously. I'm sure they don't have it in their head that they're like, oh yeah, she's kind of standoffish when I try to talk to her at the stairs. And I think that's odd that she doesn't want to talk. No, I think they just feel that my energy is cut short, and then they're, pulling back their energy from me. They're oftentimes maybe really talking positively about other people, like external value, like, oh, this person's so great, and I know them, and I'm connected to them, and they're kind of trying to raise their vibration because they're feeling insecure, and then they may be putting me down, saying that, I'm not doing enough, or it's normally very subtle things where people are telling you exactly what they think about you, or if they're insecure by you. Like, a lot of people feel insecure by individuals who don't need other people's validation. That is just like, you might as well be a monkey in outer space. Like, you might as well be a monkey in outer space to have your own opinions and thoughts and not need anybody else to justify them. And I think this concept is really healthy because we are also not our thoughts, all the thoughts we have. A lot of thoughts come in that are not ours, that are we are affected by the environment and society around us. And then that's kind of fluttering into the brain's programming at, times that we can't control. But I think it's healthy when people share their opinions, even if it doesn't sound like everybody else's opinion, even if nobody else agrees with you at all. You could be the most wrong person on the planet. And, like, are you wrong? No, you're not wrong, actually. You're not wrong, because that's your reality. That's your reality. That's how you feel. So who's to say, who's to tell you that you're wrong, that your feelings are insignificant, that your opinions are wrong, that your viewpoint shouldn't be heard? No. Everybody has a right to a different opinion, like, colorful. Make it different than somebody else's. Because if you are saying the exact same opinion as the person next to you, who's coming up with these beliefs? Whose beliefs are these? Whose beliefs are these? Like, where are these beliefs coming from? How does everybody have all the same beliefs that, I don't know. I feel like for me, myself personally, I'm seeing a lot of content about men being really toxic, or men being unhealthy or dangerous, and when I'm seeing that content, I am just recognizing that the people posting that content, they are dealing with unmet trauma, and they're projecting it onto men who have nothing to do with the situation. And so they're labeling men as being bad and dangerous and dot dot dot. Like they need to protect themselves against men. And I would argue you need to protect yourself from yourself. You need to start protecting you from yourself. You're the problem. It's not men that you're choosing. Because why are you choosing them? You have to ask yourself. You have to get accountable if you want your life to change. You can't keep pointing the fingers at men are the problem. That there's no good men, or like marriages don't last, or there's no secure partners out there, or whatever. Okay, if you keep saying that, great. You're gonna be alone the rest of your life. That is the reality you're leading yourself to, because you're telling yourself that. You're telling yourself that. You're saying, I want to be alone and I don't want to have a connection. So you won't, because that's what you're setting up for your reality. And if you don't want to have a partner, of course, that's fine. If that's not something you desire, great. That's good. If you're happy and content on your own and that's your vibe, amen. Round of applause. Like, good for you. That's great. But if you are desiring a relationship and you're cutting yourself off from connections, just sitting at home watching the news, or watching TV, watching YouTube videos, whatever. Like, that's not connection. You're not connecting with anybody on video games. Like, I love playing video games, okay? But that's not real human life connection. Like, of course, I have friends on the internet, but at the end of the day, like, are they showing up like real relationships in my life? Like, are they like supporting me? Is it someone I can call and they're gonna be there for me? Is it somebody that they call me and I'm there for them? Like, really, what kind of relationship is this? Is it really symbiotic? Are we both being benefited off of the relationship? Are both people showing up genuinely with the same investment? We're both investing into each other, and then we both grow, right? So while no one has to agree with you, I think people can still disagree with you and support you, okay? Like, just because people disagree with you doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes you're just doing something new and it's very uncomfortable for everybody, and they're not used to this energy. It's a new energy, and we go through so many periods of our life, especially with nowadays and the internet changing so rapidly, constantly. Social media, technology is always rapidly moving, and it always will. So it's very important to ask yourself, like, is self-care really a privilege? Like, do I really not have time to take care of myself? You do. That's not true. It's not true. Stop lying to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. If you lie to yourself, the problem is, the longer we lie to ourselves, the worse it gets years down the road when we have to wake up and hear the truth that we've been lying to ourselves for years, and nobody's to blame except ourselves, because that's a belief that we've decided. Those are the values we've decided to vacuum up and carry with us our whole lifelong way. And at the end of that, we don't have anyone to blame but ourselves when we're not showing up the way we were meant to show up. So you really have to be accountable. You can't keep blaming men. Men are not the problem. Like, men are not the problem. If you are pointing fingers that somebody else is the problem, I have to ask you, are they the problem? What is it about that situation that bothers you? Because oftentimes the things that bother us are often things we are struggling with ourselves, especially when we can't let it go. We have a lot of energy towards it, and we're really resentful. We're not bringing any compassion to the situation. When we're not bringing any compassion to the situation, we're just kind of beating people down. Like, we're grabbing our pitchforks, we're grabbing our torches, and we're gonna light your, house on fire. We're gonna light your house on fire, and you're so wrong. You just need to stop talking, and you're nobody, and you are being belittled and beaten down. When people are doing that to you, that has nothing to do with you. And it sucks, because when it's happening, it feels like it's just so personal, right? It's like, oh, so personal that this person thinks like you are just horrible. They are coming after you with their pitchfork. They're saying that, when we're having a disagreement with somebody, let's say, it's like beliefs about education. Like, if some people feel like college education is really beneficial, it helps you get to your goals faster in life, it helps you set yourself up for a great career. And then there may be other people who don't feel that way. They don't align with that. They enjoy trade schools. They enjoy teaching themselves. They maybe run their own businesses. They are independent contractors, independent creators, and they don't have those same values. So if we were to take somebody from the trade school side, let's take the trade school side, and that person, maybe they're an electrician, they've been doing it for 40 years, and that's what they do. They're hard set on that, and they believe that, oh no, education is a waste of my time. If I were to get an education, I wouldn't get anywhere, I wouldn't grow, this wouldn't benefit me, and anybody who gets a college education is an idiot. Anybody who spends all that money on a college education to get nowhere in life, well, they're crazy. So if we are having an extreme feeling about something, like anything, it's good to ask yourself, is that something you really want to do? Or does this bother you because somebody is doing what they want to do and you're not? Sometimes it's just as simple as that. And it's not always correlated to the subject. It's just that you're living a life you don't want to live. And then when you see other people living differently, than what you have chosen, you hate them because you're like, why the hell can't I live that life? I want to live that life. That life looks cool, actually, and my life sucks. Like, I want to wake up and live that life, but I'm not. I'm not living that life, and I don't know how to get there. So because I don't know how to get there, I'm just going to say it's a bad journey to take. It's a bad journey because I feel that I cannot do it myself. That isn't the journey for me in my mind. And so I belittle and put down people doing that journey. Even though that's probably the journey maybe I should take a little walk down. Maybe I need to take a little perspective on. I need to ask myself, what is it about this expression or activity that bothers me so? And it's probably the fact that you want to do a little bit of that. You want to express yourself more. You want to get to know yourself better as other people are getting to know themselves better. So, so as I have stepped into myself more and been honest with people about my feelings, I'm typically, I don't know, my relationships are like sandpaper lately. I'm not getting along well with a lot of individuals because I'm telling my truth, and that doesn't align with the stories they have in their head. And because my feelings don't feed their beliefs, I'm wrong. And that's fine. Like, if people think I'm wrong or that I'm kind of crazy or that my beliefs are too woo-woo or I don't know. I just feel like people that I've been having conversations with and giving feedback with, they think I'm crazy. I can just tell that they don't know what I'm talking about. They probably think I am overstepping, that I am being invasive, and that I don't have a right to say the things I'm saying. They probably think, oh, you don't know me well enough to say these things, or, they're just telling me I'm wrong. And I'm not, like, I know I'm not wrong. I spend a lot of intentional time with myself where I am meditating, where I'm journaling, where I'm listening to positive sound healing therapies. I do acupressure, the list goes on, and that helps me know how I feel. And I don't have to question myself. I don't question myself because I know how I feel. There is no question. I know people question themselves, and it's because there's so much infiltration of opinions around that it's hard to really know, or it's hard to slow down and spend that time with yourself and ask yourself, are the thoughts in my head true? Like, are these thoughts true that I'm thinking about people or situations or what's going to happen or what other people think? Is it true? How do I know? Do I know that? So, these questions are really important to kind of stop scrolling on social media. Stop listening to what people are saying. Like, why are you listening to them for? Like, you can't form an opinion on your own? I think you can. I think you're qualified. I think you are qualified to take yourself, spend some quality time with yourself, some downtime, some journaling, where there isn't a bunch of noise or stimulation, and you're seeing how you feel. How do you feel right now? What are the feelings coming up for you? How do you feel about the relationships in your life? Do you feel good about them? Do you feel like you're making good connections with those people? Like you're showing up presently? Is there anything you need to be showing up and doing right now? Is there something you're feeling called to do? Somebody to contact? A conversation to have? Yeah, so on and so forth, because it's your life. There's no reason to allow other people to silence you. I don't care who they are, what their name is, what their degree is. I don't care. It does not matter. Doesn't matter who they are, what they have to say. And you shouldn't care about that. You shouldn't care. When people are disagreeing with you, it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to show you that you're on a different path. That's it. You're on a different path. Those people are on another path of the trail of life, and you have to follow your trail. You can't allow somebody to pull you into the woods, out in the middle of the bushes, getting all scraped up into the grass, sting nettles into your arm. No, don't. Stay on your trail. Stay on your trail. Your trail is yours. That's for you to take. And if somebody doesn't want to be on the trail with you, let them go off to their trail. Let them be there. Let them have their opinions, their thoughts, their dreams on that trail, what it's going to be like, what they're going to do, all that. Let them have it when it looks different from you. That's fine. Let them go off. Let them go through the brush. Let them go through the stinging nettle. Let them cut themselves up on, the bushes and the sticks. Like, just let them. Let them figure it out, okay? Because oftentimes when people start going down the wrong trail, your stomach starts to churn, and you're like, this doesn't feel so good. There's something really wrong here, and I just can't figure it out. And so even though they're trying to push forward, they're walking more miles and miles on the trail, and they're thinking, yeah, this is going to even out. It's all going to be a cool breeze really soon. It's just going to be meadows and butterflies, and really the clouds are rolling in. The temperature is dropping. It's actually becoming nightfall, and you need to set up camp. So then, when we're getting met with that, and it starts raining, we haven't set up camp, we're trying to set up a tent in the mud, in the sticks, because we didn't prepare. And then we're wondering, why am I alone on this trail? Why is nobody else here? Why is nobody else here? Because what are you doing? Seriously, come on. What are you doing? You're not making the right decisions. You're trying to do the right things, but with it's like if you need your prescription glasses, and then you're wearing glasses that they're not strong enough, and you can't see anything. That's exactly what it's like when you're trying to follow old subconscious wiring from your parents, the past, prominent relationships in your childhood, maybe kids bullying you, kids not accepting you, thinking you're too much, you're too weird, you're too eccentric, and so then you shut yourself off and you're not the fun, loving, loud, crazy child that you once were, but that's who you need to work on getting back to. That's who you need to honor, because they're the most important. You're the most important. Your dreams, they're the most important. So let those people walk on their trails. Let them set up camp in the mud and wait for them to come back through the brush and say, hey, I don't know about that. It's not really working out. What do you think about this? And coming back to you when they're in alignment with you, when they have the emotional availability to hear what you're saying after they go through the experience and kind of rough it. A lot of people, they need to rough it. I think a lot of generations, they heard a lot of negative feedback, but it wasn't feedback that was actually helping them grow. And so that's kind of a tricky concept, right? So, because kids still need feedback, in my opinion. Kids still need feedback, because if you're not giving kids feedback, then everything is correct, and nothing is always correct all the time. Everything has a time and place for things, and I think that has to be described very clearly. And when we're just kind of supporting everything and anything, then we're not being honest in life. We're just kind of cheerleading people on. We're being nice, but we're not kind. Like, we think that person could be doing better, and we're not telling them that. Like somebody struggling with their health or their weight, and not having a conversation with them about that. And it's not to say, oh, like, start commenting on people's bodies. Like, that is not at all what I am saying. At all. But I recently had a conversation with somebody, and I was trying to show that I'm very concerned about this person. I've actually been concerned about them for months and months, and it's been on my mind, just kind of churning, that I should bring it up with the person. But I knew that they wouldn't hear me. I knew that they were not going to be open to the conversation, that they were really going to tense up like a porcupine once I brought up the situation. I knew that it would create distance in the relationship, and just a disconnect in our relationship. And I didn't want that. Like, I knew for so many months, like, oh, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings. Like, I care about them. I don't want them to feel like I'm not in their corner. I'm not supporting them. But I would argue that I'm supporting them better than whoever is supporting them, because I'm being honest with that person that I don't think they're happy. They don't look happy to me. I have seen this person when they're happy, and this isn't it. I don't know what this is. And, well, I think they're struggling, and I think they need help, and I think they're abandoning themselves, not showing up for themselves, and they're saying, oh yeah, that's okay, I'll just wait until like my financial situation's all set up. I'm gonna wait until like the money is good, everything's all good. Okay, so you're gonna wait forever. You're gonna be waiting. Like, don't you understand? You'll always be waiting. then you'll never do the work. If you're saying, oh, I'm gonna work on myself when ... when I have kids, before I have kids, after I have kids, or like, or after I get married, or when I get married, I'm gonna work on myself, or, in the relationship, I'm gonna work on myself, or, I'm just too busy. No. Okay, so you're too busy for yourself every day of your life. Like, you are too busy during your days for yourself. Like, you're seriously saying that? No. Stop saying that. You're abandoning yourself. And then you're wondering why you don't feel good. Because you're abandoning yourself. You're abandoning yourself like other people abandon you. And you have to stop punishing yourself. You have to stop. Nobody's going to get a punishment award of just like, oh, I just punished myself so much with my childhood fears and rules and regulations and all these judgments on myself. Like, no, you're not going to win an award because you abandoned yourself for all these years. No, there's no award. There is no award at the end. There's no award for self-abandonment, period. You're gonna never feel good about that. And then you're gonna do more self-abandonment because you're wondering why the self-abandonment doesn't feel good. And it's a repetitive cycle. And it's chaos. It's chaos because you're not being honest. Like, just be honest with yourself. Like, what do you want? Like, stop going and lifting weights at the gym when you need to do breath work. I'm sorry, but it is not bright to be going to the gym, pumping your body with cortisol when you're working a stressful job, okay? You're not going to lose weight that way. You're not. I am not a personal trainer. I am not certified to give you any of this information, but I am basing it off of my personal experience as a woman, okay? And I personally know when I've been working stressful jobs and then I try to run or overexert myself, doing too much heavy lifting, doing too much activity, the opposite happens and I don't lose weight. I hold on to the weight because the body is in fight or flight. And when your body's in fight or flight, you're not going to be able to lose weight. You can keep pumping iron at the gym. Keep lifting all you want. Keep doing it. And never lose weight. Don't lose weight. That's what's going to happen if you keep your body in fight or flight. The body is not meant to stay in fight or flight. So if you're working a stressful job and then you're stressing yourself out like at home with stressful content, like maybe the news or just a lot of arguing on the TV or stress. If you're packing on the stress at home after you get home from your stressful job, I mean, like, do you want to have a stroke? Like, do you want it? Because if you keep suppressing your emotions, you keep abandoning yourself, that is where you will end up. I am not giving you medical advice, but you can go look up the statistics yourself on what is causing strokes, the information that they're finding out about suppressed emotions and its connection with strokes, not being yourself, not living a life that is in tune with who you are. It's deadly. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. People say nothing's a waste of time. That's not true. Time is valuable. You only have so much. Don't waste it, actually. Don't do it. Put your time into things that are filling your cup and making you feel good. And regardless that I didn't get this person didn't hear where I was coming from with my feedback at the time. And I'm okay with that. Like, I was disappointed. I could feel the emotion when it was happening, that it was going to change the dynamic, that the dynamic was shifted, and that my energy has to be pulled back from this individual because they're not hearing what I'm saying. And I can't keep showing up for people that don't hear what I'm saying. We're just speaking different languages. Like, there's nothing we can do here. We can't connect. And that's okay, but I, of course, wish it had a different outcome, that this person was open to hear what I have to say, but I'm sure there's nobody in their life telling them that, hey, what's really going on? You don't look happy. What's going on with these beliefs? These beliefs aren't healthy. When nobody is fact-checking us, come on, we're going to get away with murder. Who isn't? Like, that's ridiculous. This is why communities need rules. They need rules so everybody isn't running amok. You have to have rules on what you're doing personally, or else you're just doing anything. Like, you want to do anything with your valuable time? You'd like to just do anything that really you don't even maybe like? Like, are you really asking yourself if you like doing these things? Like, if you like going out and partying, or these people that you're friends with, like, do they really hear you when you're talking? Like, are they really listening to you, and are they welcoming you with open arms, and they're trying to expand your life? Or is your stomach kind of feeling sick when they talk to you, or when you're asking a question or answering them, and you're feeling that, you're being ignored or you're not being heard? And that's not going to change. That'll never change. And it's a waste of time to be around people who are not supporting you, because that energy is going to leak onto you, and then you're not going to support yourself. You're going to have doubt in yourself, because these people doubt themselves, and then they'll make you doubt you. So let those people be on their trail. Don't let them pull you off into the woods. No, follow the trail guide. Follow your trail guide. Follow it. Follow the map that you have inside of you that you feel like is right. You know what that is. When you're really honest with yourself, what kind of energy that feels like, and how that person's showing up. I do want to say it's important to note that we all don't show up the same. Like, I love psychology. I love everything to do with self-help and growth, but that doesn't mean that everybody in my circles, that they have to, like, die hard on that hill with me. No, they don't. They don't have to at all. They don't have to, like, go all crazy about my passions, because that's not reasonable either. Like, are you asking people to support you even when they're uncomfortable? Like, you'd rather, so you value your own comfort over others, because that's not, we have to think about that. We have to really think about that, because our needs are not more important than someone else's. Well, if somebody is supporting you and they don't want to support you, like, they're not really there for that, and they're just kind of showing up because They love you, but they're not being authentic to themselves. That's not really what they enjoy. A good friend would say, hey, I love you. I love that you're batting for me, but they're going to be there in your corner. They're going to support you, but it doesn't mean that they do everything the way you do it. It doesn't mean that you even have the same interests. It doesn't mean that you have the same careers. It doesn't mean that you have the same socioeconomic background. Honestly, what I believe really matters is do the people believe in you? Like, the people in your corner, do they believe in you? Like, you're gonna know when people don't believe in you. When especially women, like, you can tell when women are not being supported by the people in their lives because they're not taking care of themselves. They're not showing up for themselves because nobody is showing up for them. They're having to handle the village all by themselves, and so they look like a mess, you know? They're not showering. They have their hair up in a bun. They are struggling. You can see it. They're overweight. They have diabetes. They oftentimes are working jobs where they're caring for people. And the reason why they're caring for people is because it's a perfect setup to abandon yourself every day, okay? It's a perfect setup because no matter what, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, you have to keep showing up and you have to keep being there for your patients, for the people that are asking answers from you, no matter how you feel. So you don't have any time with yourself. There's no time. And people in those fields, like, why are most of them overweight? It's because they're in fight or flight when they're eating. When they're eating, they're in fight or flight. When you're doing everything at home, you're probably still in fight or flight. And then you're going back to work in fight or flight. And your body is basically in an ongoing stress cycle. It's like you're up in a tree scared of a jaguar your whole life. Like, that's your wiring. So that's not living, that's surviving. Like, surviving. So many people, I feel, are surviving, and I can say this because I survived for so long. Like, I felt like I was in a room that had all the doors shut. Like, every door was locked on the other side, and in front of me I just had my interests that were going nowhere. They had no traction. I just didn't think that my dreams were important. My dreams were not important to me. They were something on the back burner, something that had been extinguished by different individuals in my life. And I'm sure they didn't mean to extinguish it. I'm sure they weren't like showing up like, yeah, let's really push her in the dirt, let's really make Ashley feel shitty about herself and, get nowhere. No, I'm sure they did not feel that way, but that was the effect of what happened. There's a cause and effect of what we're doing. So when we're showing up and we're kind of putting people down or we're comparing ourselves against them, we're already losing. You're already lost in the woods. Why are you comparing yourself to them? You're not them. You're comparing yourself because you're not happy. So don't separate yourself from other people just because you're not happy. Don't do that. When you feel like you're in a room by yourself and you just have like all your problems, stacked up in a little pile, and all your dreams are in the trash can behind you, and you're like, yeah, That's just a dumpster fire waiting to happen, you know. They're all gonna be ashes soon, my dreams. Like, forget them, you know, they were never gonna happen anyways. Like, my dreams are lame. They were never gonna happen, never gonna come to fruition. They're too big, too expansive. It doesn't exist. Yeah. Okay. Yes. That's exactly what's happening when you're in that room. You're not wrong. That's not wrong to feel that way when you're in that space. Those feelings are valid. They're totally valid. When you feel like you're stuck and you can't move forward, that is absolutely a valid feeling. However, your best tool is yourself. You are the one who can climb out of the pit. You have to search through your dreams. Go back to that trash bucket in the back filled with your dreams. Forget the pile of problems in front of you. Forget the negative beliefs that people don't believe in you, that you're not enough, you're not yada yada. Forget it. Leave it. Stop thinking. If you try to think your way through life, you'll lose. You'll lose, because life isn't about thoughts. It's about values and intuition and beliefs and connection. And when you don't have good values and good beliefs, you can't connect with anybody. And then you're wondering, why am I in a room by myself? Well, you're not open to connecting with anybody. You have to go back to your dreams in the trash. Go back, turn around, turn around. Turn around. Go back to your dreams. Go back to those things. What is in that trash can crumpled up that you're like, no, I can't do this. I can't do my dreams. No. It's too big. It's too much. Go fish that out. Go get it. Go get it. Start working on it. Start doing it right now. You're starting now. You're starting now because that's what you need. That's who you are, what's in the trash can, what you're crumpling up and throwing away. Like, that's who you are, who you're crumpling and throwing in the trash. That is a real you. That's a real you. When you fish it out, when you turn around and be honest with yourself, ask yourself, what would really fulfill me to be doing? Like, what is my purpose to be here? Like, what am I supposed to be sharing with others? Why? Why am I sharing it? Why does it matter to me? And then you're going to find your keys to open up the doors. You're actually going to, if you wait for the sun to come up, you're going to see that there's actually new doors you never even saw right there in front of you. They were always there the whole time. And you had your eyes closed because you're so focused on the problem, stressed in fight or flight, on your problems, on all the things you're lacking, on what you're not, on what everybody thinks you are or says you won't do or will do. All that pile of whatever, goop you're getting lost in. Forget it. You gotta forget it. You gotta go back to your dreams. That is the key, because once you're focusing on that, everything starts opening up around you. You have to allow other people to come into your life and help you when you are focused on yourself. Because people who are taking care of themselves are, magnetic. People get pulled into individuals that are taking care of themselves. They're showing up for them, because then people are going to know they can show up for them, and it's a mutual relationship. So this has gotten really ridiculously long. But my point was that, I think a lot of people right now are not agreeing with me. Like, I think a lot of people in my life are just like, really, Ashley? Yeah, really, 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 real. Welcome to my real opinions, my real thoughts. I am almost 30. Next year I'll be 29, and I don't want to live any more time wasted. I don't want to live a life where I'm not being honest. It's not serving anybody. It's not serving the people in my life, and it's sure as heck not serving me. It's not serving me any. It's actually just wasted my time. And yes, I say that strongly. I think there are things that I have wasted my time on, and I wouldn't go back and waste my time again. And that's important because, there's things that are valuable to our livelihoods, and then there's things that are really just derailing us from focusing on our dreams, our successes, and the things that really fill us up. They make us feel good. So, and it'll also block us from the people that feel good. But really, the point is, nobody needs to like you. Nobody needs to believe or think you're right to be right. Nobody needs to come and tell you that, hey, your values are correct, your beliefs are correct, you're right. Because what would happen if you start giving your opinion and nobody says that? Are you going to stop talking? Are you not going to share your gifts with the world? No, you need to share your gifts with the world no matter what everybody says. In fact, you need to do it regardless of what everybody says. And it doesn't mean you need to ignore those people, but I would create distance with people who are not supporting you, because that is energetic and that will rub off on you. So when people doubt you, it's rubbed off that you're doubting yourself, and you don't need it. You don't need to doubt yourself, and you need to feel good. And when people are willing to show up in that energy to meet you where you are, that's up to you. If you are receptive to that, I would honestly argue, really, to be honest, people don't really change. Their wiring is, kind of what it is. Whoever you met at 5 years old is probably the same adult that they are when they're 50. So I hate to say that, but what you see is what you get. So when your past partners were just not nice people, guess what? They're just not nice. Like, that's the data you have between you two. That's it. Like, don't keep going back and thinking, oh, maybe this person will change. No, they're not going to change towards you. Like, if they didn't show up and respect you initially, they can't show up again and try to respect you another time. Like, they don't have it. They can't respect you because they don't respect themselves. And you can't ask of people what they're not doing for themselves. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not respecting themselves. They're abandoning themselves, and then they will abandon you. So, moral of the story is, be whatever flavor of tea you want to be. Say what you want to say. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. And honestly, I'd say, even if it's hurting people, you need to be honest. Because if you are not being honest with people, you're hurting yourself. You are hurting yourself instead of potentially hurting other people and telling your truth. And that's not healthy. I know that we are living in a time where we are supposed to be really supportive of one another, regardless of behaviors. But I think really loving one another is showing up authentically, and oftentimes that means bruised egos and hurt feelings and time that needs for rebuilding the relationship. And that's a better life to live than living a life where you're not even living. You're just kind of coasting through and you're not being yourself. Like, forget it. Don't do that. Like, we're not fish. We're humans. We're not supposed to just coast through, like, lollygagging around, agreeing with everybody else. No, you have your own thoughts. You have your own blessings to bring into the world, your own creative opinion, and it doesn't look like everybody else, and that's great. That's it. That's exactly what everybody needs. They need somebody else, not somebody that's like cookie cutter. We don't need any more of that. We need people who are being honest, who are just saying their truth. And so if you're not somebody's cup of tea, that's okay. Maybe you're my cup of tea and you don't even know it. Maybe I'm your cup of tea, and I'm happy for that. But, you know, if you don't agree with me, that's okay too. If you don't agree with my opinions, or if you get upset by my opinions, it's probably even better, because that's digging up something within you. If you're getting upset, if you're feeling like, oh, I don't like this, she's really wrong. Well, I would really take a look at that. Take a look at, am I really wrong? Am I really? So it's good to always ask yourself, what are these feelings coming up and how do I feel about them? What is going to push me into alignment of the life when I close my eyes and picture my dream fantasy? What does that look like? And how do I get closer to that? So, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.